Hello there! Welcome to AMBR Builds, where assembly may be required. Join me as I document my journey back into LEGO collecting. Today, I want to talk about something that is highly collectible. They have big heads, big eyes, and big blank expressions. That's right, I'm talking about Brickheadz. Now, all Brickheadz follow a specific design language. This makes them more in unison with each other across different themes. It doesn't matter which character you have, they're all designed in the same chibi style. Starting with their legs, they are usually 4 plates high. This makes them very short and also very top heavy. But the good news is their torsos use a 4x4 plate as a base. Despite being top heavy, the legs are usually centered underneath their torso, making them easy to stand on a standard plate. Snot bricks go on both sides to attach the arms, and sometimes on the front or back to add 3D details, like a utility belt. Other times they have specially printed bricks to add designs specific to certain characters. These bricks are usually very rare, and often only appear in one set. Their arms are made using a 2x2 plate as a base, with a 1x2 plate with a clip on the end as a hand. Brickheadz sometimes come with accessories, such as lightsabers with Star Wars Brickheadz. It is comical to see them hold any accessory, especially since weapons are not scaled up from minifig size. And if yours didn't come with any accessories, add a piece from your collection to make them look sillier than they already are. The head design also uses a 4x4 base, and is also about 4 bricks high. Snot bricks are used to add ears, hair, and other details. Enough about appearances, it's what's on the inside that counts, right? Lo and behold, Brickheadz hold a secret inside their heads. It's okay. Most Brickheadz have a pink 2x2 brick in the center of their head. This is the brain brick. Now, scientists have done extensive research to uncover the purpose of these bricks. Currently, it is believed to give sentience to the Brickheadz so that when we aren't around, they come to life. However, their stubby legs and lack of income make having a good time all that more difficult. All jokes aside, brain bricks are a really fun detail that I'm glad designers chose to include. It is literally an inside joke in the purest sense of the word. If you realize what it represents, it makes you stop and go, "Ooh, that's nice." Before looking at the Brickheadz that break the mold, I'd like to give honorable mentions to some that just barely made the cut for having a brain. First up, I'd like to acknowledge set 40422, Frankenstein. Now, Frankie has his source material to thank for having a brain, not the LEGO designers. But I wanted to include him on this list because if they did not give brains to the majority of these sets, Frankenstein would have been a great one to include this as a one-off Easter egg. Set 40351 is a ghost Brickheadz. Now, unless the designers know more about the spiritual realm than us, I think it was generous to include a brain for this one. I think a clear brick could have been a nice addition instead. Or, if this is meant to represent a bedsheet ghost costume, then I think that could justify the brain brick. This next one I could introduce, but there's a song that does that for me.
I would dance and be merry, life would be a ding-a-dairy if I only had a brain.
Set 40352, the Scarecrow, must not be based on the Wizard of Oz version, since this one has a brain. Or maybe this one already finished its quest and spoke to the wizard. Stuffing its torso with pieces to represent hay would have been a nice inclusion. Speaking of stuffing, this next one could have benefited from that too. Set 41630 is Jack Skellington and Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. Both have brains, despite Jack being a skeleton and Sally being a ragdoll. Sally could have used an inside joke in the torso rather than the head. And Jack didn't need anything. Not including inside details would have been a great inside joke. If an inside reference is very specific to the character, then that is good detailing. Otherwise, it's safe to say the default design of Brickheadz includes brains. And the omission of one is no different than a brickhead being a different size. These next Brickheadz differ from the original blueprint. Some do actually have modified brain bricks. Set 41594, Captain Armando Salazar from Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales has a translucent green brain. Now, Salazar is a ghost pirate, and a lot of the zombie and ghost characters from those films, especially Davy Jones's crew, look moldy and like they're falling apart. The translucent green brick represents the gross-out nature of the characters that we see on screen. Plus, it's cool that the brain is exposed from behind. Now, set 41618 has Olaf from Frozen. Olaf has a tiny brain. It's built inverted, using a 1x1 pink plate as the brain and connecting it to a white 1x1 plate. which is then on a 1x1 round tile with a bar and pin holder. Smaller brains make sense for smaller figures, especially when it comes to minions. All 4 of them, Stuart, Kevin, Bob, and Otto, have 1x1 pink plates for brains. They come in sets 40420 and 40421. It's interesting to note that Otto is a 4x4 base figure, but still includes the smaller brain. His brain is on a 2x2 dome piece to center it perfectly in his head. Kevin uses the inverted technique just like Olaf. And Stuart and Bob have their brains built up into them, nothing too fancy. Up next in this Brickheadz Anatomy 101, we're gonna look inside the hearts, or in this case, their torsos. Set 40552, Buzz Lightyear has batteries inside. How cool is that? First you build the positive and negative connections, then you actually assemble the batteries and put them in correctly. I've never been so excited about putting in batteries before. An exclusive by and large print on the batteries would have really said they were trying to spare no expense. But nonetheless, this is what I call attention to detail. Buzz's buddy also has a neat torso insider. Set 40553 includes Woody and Bo Peep. Bo is as standard as Brickheadz come, but Woody has Lego pieces to act as his stuffing. 2 white ice cream pieces just kind of float inside his torso. Leaving Pixar films, let's look at set 41612. The Creeper and Steve from Minecraft set includes an explosive surprise. Inside, the Creeper build is a TNT block, just like in the game. The TNT block is pretty cool, and since no one would see it anyways, I guess you could replace it with other pieces and display it with Steve. There's one last Brickhead that has both a small brain and a secret in their torso. Personally, it's my favorite reference. Set 41632 features Homer Simpson and Krusty the Clown from The Simpsons. As a nod to Homer's general dopiness, he has a tiny brain. What's unique about him is that he has a clear window behind his forehead to see inside. His stomach has a brick-built drawer that slides in and out. He comes with round donut tiles to place inside. I wonder if anyone's tried to modify this so you can insert them in his mouth and they slide down to his stomach. I guess with the size of this drawer, you can make Homer eat other things too. Well, that's all I got. Did I miss any other unique Brickheads? Please let me know. Also, what other Brickheads should have unique inside jokes? I'd love to hear your ideas in the comments. And until next time, thanks for watching.